Well, 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 what do we have here? We have another fantastic France product. They're Cornbulbs or mogul lamps. What makes them so great? We're going to take a closer look at it, but they've gone one step further and they've paired this up with a fantastic base. Small footprint, specialized O-ring for certain reasons. And we're going to get into that. We're going to take a look at it of the oversized, because when you put these two together, you got quite the bright solution. Oh, for all of your deep cabinet needs and beyond. Let's talk a little bit more about that. Jump over the overhead now. Let's take a little closer look at the TruBrite LED mogul or corn bulb connected to the LED Sign Kit. Man, this guy, golly, that's bright. Oh, my eyes. Unreal. And it just locks down nice, but man, just holy cow. Well, you know what? Let's take a little closer look at it and get into it. And here's the TruBrite LED mogul or corn bulb lineup. So we have a 54 watt, a 75 watt, a 100 watt, and a 120 watt. As you can tell, they varies in size. These diameters are the same. This one's a little different just because of the form factor, and you don't need as much space on the 54 watt as far as the power supply and the cooling mechanism. So let's go ahead and remove a few of these, and we'll just go down to the little guy and talk a little bit more about that. Now let's take a closer look at some of the features and the benefits of why this guy is so popular out in the marketplace. Number one, we do heat management better than anyone on the market, hands down. Since our neon days, into every bit of our products, every one of them manages the heat superiorly to our competitors. This one is no exception. So we've built the power supply inside this. It converts our 120 to our 12 to be able to power all of the different LEDs. And with that, we didn't want to have a fan in there, but we knew we needed to do something a little different. So we designed it to where you've got this gap in here, but where it gets real interesting, let's see if I can get the camera to be able to see it. If you look inside here, maybe you can see it. See that big gap in there? These are independent of that center heat sink. So there's two different heat sinks. There's the heat sinks that actually are connected straight to the LEDs, and then there's a master heat sink on the inside of that that isn't connected to that at all. It's completely independent. So why is that important? Well, this radiates heat back to that other heat sink. That heat sink then pulls it through this vent, and it does not require any kind of fan in order to do that. So it's convection style heat release that allows us to stay cooler. The other feature people are really loving about this is that when it does get hot, and they do get hot in different applications like in Arizona, California, etc., and it gets too hot for them, this one dims itself down, waits for the heat to dissipate, and brings itself up. It's not going to just start flashing and saying, oh, there's something wrong. It dims itself down and then brings it back up when needed once it's cooled off. So another fantastic, solid reason why to buy these products. The other one is it's extremely competitive on price. So you know what? That is the corn bulb. Let's take a look at the base that it goes into and the features about that. This is our TruBrite sign base for the sign kits. Okay, so we have a TruBrite sign kit. We have the actual corn bulbs or moguls that you can buy by themselves. But when you put these two together, right? When these two go together, this becomes the sign kit, and that's what we're referring to. So let's talk a little bit about the base and what makes it special and a complete system according to UL. This has a ring here that not only helps this seal down, so let me go ahead and screw this on here to show you. I mean, it gives a really nice seal on there, right? As you can see, it doesn't just help it to seal down, but it's anti-vibration. So as vibrations happen, because a lot of these go into big signs that are out by the interstate high up, and as they vibrate from all the traffic going by, this helps to diminish the amount of vibration so it doesn't work itself loose. So that's another main reason for that gasket, besides just giving you a good watertight seal. The other great thing about it is the footprint. This thing is so small. I mean, it really is. That is a small footprint for a complete box. But the reason we're able to do it is because the way we did our back, you take this screw off, all the wires pull out, you do your wiring and shove them back in so you don't mess up your fingers or anything or bust up your knuckles. But because of that capability, you're able to, have a lot smaller footprint. We have a knockout here for pass-through and a knockout here, obviously, which this is where this wiring is going into. That's how I was able to light up earlier. And so your conduit comes in from this side, goes in, goes back to the outside, so you can daisy chain them together to have multiples going down a row inside of a sign to illuminate it properly. These are made for really deep signs, 36 inches. We can go down to 30, but 30 to, actually we've been able to go down to 24 depending on the situation and the face material, but we suggest 30 inches, or 31 inches all the way up to 50 inches deep or even 60 inches deep. And that's why we have all the various sizes to cover that scope and that span to give you enough light. They're extremely bright for a reason, and that is so it will cover that span. It's got a ceramic base to it. It's like any other high, electric product though. This is not a low voltage product. This is high voltage coming in, and then this converts it, like I said, from 120 volt all the way down to 12 volt for the LEDs to be able to handle it properly. So with that being said, you got to make sure that these are dry, fairly dry before you put the bulbs in. But it's a fantastic product, small footprint, easy to utilize, very inexpensive, especially as a kit. When you take a look at your total system cost. So if you want to know more about this and these, be sure to contact me today. And until next time, sign on.